Welcome to My Writer's Room. I'm B.T. Higgins. Welcome to Lesson 2.5. This is all about books and writers that inspired me or inspire me. Right now, we're still talking about inspired because these are books that I read as a kid that really started the desire to be a writer within my little heart. And so I'm going to talk about Roald Dahl today. Roald Dahl wrote a lot of books. He sold 250 million copies. He's from England, a British novelist. He wrote short stories, poems, screenwriter as well. Mostly, I only read his books, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, Matilda. There's I think about 6 or 7 of them. I'm forgetting, but they all have a little fantasy, exciting thing that just hooks me. Even now, I enjoy it, even though they're so familiar that some of the surprise and magic is not fresh. But I remember when the magic was fresh, and how much it just captured me. And obviously, he sold 250 million copies, so I'm probably just one in a million different kids who loved his books, and probably that even goes on today. I bet they're still selling just as well. Okay, I love the magical and the fantasy elements. The where impossible things were possible. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all these impossible chocolate inventions, and the great glass elevator, and all of those types of things. Or in James and the Giant Peach, the giant peach the size of a house that gets floated up into the air by tying to all these seagulls and letting them fly. It's not reality, it's the fantasy, and that always sparked my interest. And I think that's why I write stuff where it's a real world with 1 or 2 magical or fantastic pieces built in. And then how is the normal world going to get affected by those couple of fantasy elements? Like in Matilda, one of his books, she has those mind powers that can do all of those things. And she's so tiny, but she has those powers, and it lets her be able to overcome the schoolmaster that's super mean. I forget her name because I'm not looking at the book right now. But you probably have read Matilda, or maybe even seen the movie from way back when. I love the magical, the fantasy elements. It's probably the reason why I write these kinds of books now. I don't know why, but even when I try to write something that has a different style, it always ends up with something goofy, silly, or fantastic in it. I think I can blame it on Roald Dahl. That's probably who is to blame. And so I have been writing books that feel a little bit Roald Dahl-ish since the beginning, all the way since The Movers and the Setters at the very beginning. Remember that novel I explained about back in 2.1, I think it was, that embarrassing one that's written horribly, but it was kind of just that fantastic, goofy idea. I've been writing that way all along. And so, as a writer who's trying to become a bigger and better writer, I have created a goal inside of my little mind. It's kind of a life goal. It's like a moonshot. A moonshot is like an expression for a goal that's so big and hairy and audacious, so large that it's almost impossible. You can spend a long time trying to get there, like trying to get to the moon during the space program in the, was it 60s? You spend all of your effort trying to get there. Well, I have one of these moonshot life goal, big, hairy, audacious goals. And do you want to know what mine is? Mine is I want to become the Roald Dahl for the next century of readers. That's a massive goal. I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but I think get there, because that's just close to impossible. But I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing stories, and that's what I'm going to work towards. I guess you're going to have to stay tuned over the next 40 years or so to see if I reach that big, hairy, audacious goal. Can I get to the moon? It's okay to have big goals, huge goals. It gets you working. It gives you a direction. And I don't know if I'll ever be as big as Roald Dahl. But I'm not really exactly him anyway. Maybe, though, a little by little, I can write fun, interesting stories that kids love. And maybe I can get there. We'll see. Stay tuned 40 years later.